Unfortunately, being over 50 has one or two disadvantages. Firstly, you can't enter an under 25s beauty contest. Lord knows I've tried. Secondly, you sound like a right numpty doing the teenage upspeak thing. And lastly, you lose all ability and inclination to dance, and rightly so. The good news though is that 50 is a great age to start cycling. In fact, any age is a great age to start cycling. So unless you actually are getting younger, the best time to begin your cycling adventure is right now. People of all ages get on two wheels for the first time literally every day, and for a couple of different reasons. It's good for your physical and mental health, it's a great sustainable form of transport, and above all, it's fun. But like most people when they start something new, you will more than likely have a few questions and probably one or two fears to overcome. Hopefully today I can answer those questions and put those fears to rest. So the obvious thing to start off with is the bike. Now the bottom line is that you can't really start cycling without one. I cover all the ins and outs of buying a bike and all the other little bits and bobulums in another film, which I will link in the description below. But to summarise, it doesn't matter one iota if it's second hand or brand new, a cheap clunker or a state-of-the-art overkill super lightweight stealth bomber. The important thing is that it fits you and that you will feel comfortable riding it. Get those two things right and you will be well on your way. Let's face it, being over 50 and more than likely overweight can limit our choice of clothing somewhat. Most people in this demographic are looking for ways to hide a few unsightly lumps and bumps rather than wear a skin-tight outfit that will reveal every crack and crevice. Which is why a couple of questions people ask me all the time are, do I have to wear lycra on the bike and won't it make me look stupid? The short and brutally honest answer is no to the first bit and well, probably to the second bit. At this point, I would usually go on and talk about the benefits of wearing proper cycling kit, or how fat haters and shamers are actually sad and unhappy people that deserve our compassion. But you know what? Just wear whatever the hell you want, and if and when some idiot does make some stupid comment, you should just think to yourself, f the bozos. So, now that we have the practical and spiritual aspects addressed, it's time for your first rides. If you haven't ridden a bike for a while, I won't lie, it can be pretty intimidating. Just getting on and off and staying upright might prove to be a bit more of a challenge than you first thought. In this case, I would suggest finding some very quiet location, preferably with some soft landing spot, and practicing the basics before you actually hit the road proper. Only when you are fully confident should you ride out on the road, and even then I would suggest sticking to quiet routes that see very little or virtually no traffic. You can always move up to slightly busier roads later on. So should you ride alone or with a friend? Well, on the one hand, riding with someone else will certainly help you feel safer. After all, there is safety in numbers. But if that person is much fitter and faster than you, it might prove to be a bit of an effort keeping up. But then it could also be a great way of building your speed and fitness up as well. At the end of the day, only you can decide what's best. Ride with someone else only if you think that it will help. Ride alone if you don't. It's better to be unaccompanied than misaccompanied. Another couple of dilemmas new cyclists faced are how far and how fast should you ride. Again, there's no definitive answer, as it will depend very much on your current level of fitness. Distance-wise, I would suggest riding so that you get to the point where you start to feel tired at an intensity that makes you out of breath. For some, this may be literally around the block, while for others it could be much further. Whatever the distance or intensity, don't start thinking that it's too short or not hard enough. It's quite possible that you'll be going from zero cycling to riding a couple of kilometres, which may not sound like a lot in the grand scheme of things, but if you view it in personal terms, it's a massive achievement. The great thing is that if you regularly continue to ride just beyond your current comfort zone, so every couple of days or so, it will be enough to start the process of making you fitter. Before you know it, you'll be able to ride further and faster each time. Most bikes these days come with gears, and for some this can also be a bit of a mystery. To massively oversimplify it, the gears are there to make it easier when cycling uphill. If you drive a car, you already understand the theory, and a bike is no different, only you are the engine. Unlike in a car though, a bike usually has two gear shifters, one on the left for the front derailleur and one on the right for the rear. There are no hard and fast rules about what gear you should be in. Simply pedal at a rate that feels natural and select a gear that allows you to do that easily and comfortably. When the road starts to go uphill, most of your gear changes will be made using the right shifter, and you will only need to think about the left one when you start running out of gears on the right. The only slightly complicated thing is remembering which shifter controls which derailleur and which direction you need to pull or push on those shifters to go up or down the gears. After a bit of practice though, it will quickly become second nature. Cycling clearly has massive benefits, but what about the things that potentially could go wrong? As you imagine, cycling has its very own set of potential issues. Being a mechanical device, there is a chance that something at some point will need some attention. The likely candidate is a puncture. Now, while they're a pain in the arse, they aren't the end of the world. If you know what you're doing and you have all the right tools and a spare tube, you can be back on your merry way in around 15 minutes. And most other mechanical issues that you might experience out on the road can be mitigated with some regular bike maintenance. Again, I've made another couple of films showing you all you need to know, which I will link in the description below. Hopefully it won't happen, but unfortunately riding out on the road, riding at speed and riding with other people will increase your risk of accidents and potential injury. All you can do is ride defensively and take every reasonable precaution, including wearing a helmet and obeying the rules of the road. Statistically speaking though, cycling accidents are infrequent. In fact, you're much more likely to have an accident while driving than when you're out cycling, but obviously you're much less protected when on your bike. It's only natural to be worried about personal safety while cycling, but also it's quite sobering to know that not getting any regular exercise represents a 70 times greater risk to your health than cycling out on the road. I hope that this film has demystified some of the myths around cycling and alleviated some of your fears. Before you'll know it, you'll be wondering why you waited so long to start. Good luck and thanks for watching.